Hey there, so I wanted to give you guys an update. It is Saturday, March 15th, and I am currently 28 weeks and 3 days pregnant. So it was another one of our milestone weeks. So Wednesday we were 28 weeks, and we're very, very excited to make it to this point. This was like the first milestone that they kind of really stressed on us that, like, we really want you to make it 28 weeks. Of course, anything further is great, but 28 weeks is really, really important. So that's really good. So I'm happy about that. So John is currently away right now. He did come home on April 4th. Sorry, April 4th. On March 4th, he came home, and he is on a short trip right now. He comes home tomorrow. He left on Tuesday night to go down to Virginia to do some gigs down there. So he's been gone from Tuesday, and he comes home tomorrow. So having him home was awesome. It was really great. I felt so much more comfort to know that he was able to sleep with our fur babies at home. I know that my dad and my sister-in-law and my brother and my nephews have been doing an amazing job taking care of him, but nothing's like having their daddy around, so I'm really happy for that. So what he was doing mostly was, when he was home, he was staying with me for a night on this couch right here. I had moved over to the couch to make it a little bit more comfortable. And on the opposite night, he would stay home with them, so that they had some time with Daddy, and then I had some time with Daddy. So, and that's good, because I'm fine with that. And then he gets to do all of the stuff he needs to do around the house, and do some of his bookings and working out and all that kind of stuff, trying to keep his life kind of normal too. So it's been great, having him home, and gets me out of the room more. He's taken me on some, runs around the hospital just to get out and see different scenery. And we actually went outside for like an hour a week ago, and went to the cafe, got some good, yummy food down there. I actually got some hot chocolate and a little bit of just a little bit of coffee. I've asked the nurses, and they actually told me it's quite fine, so I just stayed away from it until then, but they said it was fine. So I did give myself the luxury of having a caramel brulee latte, and that was really, really good. So what else? Let's see. So the rash is gone, completely gone. I don't know if it was what I did or what, but I'm going to say it worked. I used the Grandpa's Pine Tar Soap, and then I also used the prescription. It was a menthol camphor lotion, and I would shower every single night before going to bed, use that soap, and then put the lotion on, and it would make me freezing at first. So I would put all the heat all the way up in the room, put my warmest clothes on, and use a hairdryer sometimes because I would be shivering, and then about 15 minutes later I would be hot. And yeah, then I would strip down to just a nightgown and go to sleep, and that was fine for the rest of the night and to the next day. And then around bedtime I would start to get the itch again and start the process over again. So I did that for about a week, and it actually helped immediately. Like in the first couple days of me using soap and stuff, it started to go away, and by the end of the week it was gone. So amazing. So I'm really quite happy about that. So another thing we did this week was on Wednesday at 28 weeks. We did my glucose test, and everything came back 100% perfect for that. So that's a great thumbs up on that. I don't need any more issues, so very thankful for that. And then everything has been really good. Been very stable. I only had one issue that was on Monday night, and it was a little bit of a scare. I still have the dark brown spotting. I wouldn't even call it bleeding, it's just more spotting. And they said that's completely fine. They don't worry about that whatsoever. They still want to record it, but that's really fine. But on Monday night, I was getting ready to go to bed. John had left because he was actually going to be driving down to Virginia on Monday night, and it was around midnight, and I had just taken my shower, got into bed, and I went to the bathroom before I got in bed, and then when I looked down, there was some pink blood on my toilet paper. So I called the nurse, showed the nurse, and then they were all a little bit concerned. Um, the fact that it wasn't bright red and wasn't flowing was awesome, but they still weren't sure if it was going to start to do that. So they were worried that it could lead to other things. So they put me on the monitor, and I was contracting, although it wasn't any painful contractions. I wasn't feeling anything. It was just tight. I was feeling something. I was feeling tightening. I wasn't feeling any pain though. So no painful contractions. It was just tightening of my uterus. So, but that was concerning because they thought, that could lead to actual labor. So they kept me on the monitor all night long, and then they also gave me a new IV, and they pumped me just full of fluids, just generic regular fluids, just to I guess having some hydration actually helps to calm the uterus. So they pushed in a bag in an hour to quickly calm it down, and it worked. Everything slowed down, and I didn't have any more bleeding after that point. It was just that one wipe. But just to be on the safe side, they just did what they had to do. So unfortunately, though, John was supposed to leave at 1 o'clock that night, and of course this happened like just before he left, and he was nervous. So he didn't leave until Tuesday night, so he ended up having to cancel one of his gigs in Virginia. But I was glad that he stayed put just in case, and he didn't want to leave in case anything happened. And he said, as long as they were keeping me on the monitor, that he wasn't leaving. So they took me off the monitor at 9 o'clock the next morning, and I haven't had any issues since then. I've had some contractions or tightening or whatever, but they're nothing of concern. So like today, I actually had this morning I was having they were showing contractions on the monitor when they did my half-hour strip, so they gave me some more fluids and everything stopped again. But there was no bleeding. It was not painful contractions, just tightening. So I don't know. They just want to make sure everything is good. So fine with me. And then the only other thing that I have to talk about is at our growth ultrasound last Friday. Everything looked good. She weighed in at 2 pounds 1 ounce. So that's good. She was just a little bit above, what is usual for 28 weeks, so that's great. And we asked the doctor, because I was just, I need something to focus on as far as, when, was a good time to deliver and that kind of thing, so that I can kind of set my mind to it and kind of focus on it. So I asked the doctor, if everything stays as it is and I don't have any issues, is there a point that they would want to deliver because of the further risks of infection and rupture of my sac and the bleeding associated with the other rupture. So, and he said yes. He said actually 34 weeks would be at the point where we would induce. I was actually really surprised. I was like, wow, that's still pretty early. But he explained to us, that since she got the steroid shots early on, her lungs will already be very well developed at that point, and most of the important things that need to develop throughout the pregnancy will already have been done at that point. And from 34 weeks on, it's just going to be more about weight gain. He said the risk of infection just goes up so much higher at that point. And, if she does, if I or anything happens, and an infection starts, then that could set the baby back, like 2 weeks, So, and, they would have to deliver me immediately and, have to fix everything. That could affect so many things. So he said, 34 weeks would be our goal week. So that would bring us to April 23rd. And that is, let's see, from right now, I wrote it down, it would be 5 weeks and 4 days left. So that's awesome because I've actually been in the hospital for 33 days, which is 4 weeks and 5 days. So, so I'm almost halfway there. So that is really a good thing. And I have it on my board over here. This is my little status board. It says keep baby in, and then it also says until 34 weeks. Have her name up there, which, I'm sorry, I actually don't know if I've introduced you to her name. We have decided to name our little girl Harmony Grace. As you know, we named baby A Abigail Grace. So we thought it was really nice to join the two of them together with the same middle name. So Abigail Grace and Harmony Grace. And John thought of both of those names, actually. He had initially thought of Harmony when we were going, thinking of naming baby A Grace. And I was a little bit not sure about it because I was kind of thinking Harmony and Grace kind of sound a little bit cheesy-ish. I don't know, like kind of sound like a band or something they were kind of forcing upon our children. I did like both of the names separately. I just wasn't sure if I liked them together. And you know, when we lost Abigail, he just kept thinking about baby A, and Abigail came to mind for him. And it means father's joy. So that was really, that really struck me. You know, so that was perfect. And Harmony just, you know, was always there. So that was the name we decided to stick with. So, so Harmony Grace. Yeah. So I'm really happy with it. I've really become really attached to it. So. So yeah, so this is where we are. Everything is going well. I'm feeling well. My spirits are still good. Work has been, you know, as usual, keeping me busy. But I've finally caught up, so I'm not working like a ton. I'm just going to be working on trying to make sure I don't fall behind now. And I have to update some things in my manual so that when I'm out, it'll be easier for her to, you know, follow along. I've been training somebody for the last week and a half. And that's going well. It's definitely challenging because being, you know, I'm used to doing one-on-one training like in person. I was supposed to be in New York last week to do that. So it's been a bit of a challenge with the doing it over the phone, and we've been doing like a screen share. And it's a little slow. So, but, you know, we're making the best of it. So that is where we are. So I will let you guys go. I just want to say thank you again to everybody for everything you've been doing to help us out, for all of the cards and well wishes and posts on Facebook, and just all the support all around. It's been amazing. I just have to give a little shout out to Kendra, who has been sending me cards all the time, and they make me laugh and smile. They're just so funny. I really appreciate that. And Sharon also sent a nice little gift box that was like a movie night, and that was awesome. John and I watched Gravity, and it had popcorn and candy and all that stuff, so that was really cool of her to do. She sent me a bunch of goodies too, lotions and a baby book, and what else? Oh, she sent so many things. She sent, let's see, I have some things up here. Oh gosh, lots of treats over in my corner. I have a little pantry of snacks and stuff over here, and a lot of those were from her. Oh, just amazing stuff. And I'm just so thankful for everybody for everything they've done. And that's about it. So I will probably talk to you guys in another 2 weeks, and I hope everybody is doing good. We'll talk to you later. Bye. So before I go, I will give you guys a live baby bump shot. I haven't done that in a while, so here you go. Here is with shirt down from this side, and then that side, and then shirt up. This is 28 weeks and 3 days. And I have started to get my, what do you call that, linea negra line that started down here. Very faint, nothing much. Nothing up here yet, not really, at least I don't really see it yet. And my belly button isn't popped out yet, but it's like right there. I mean, it's like flat. It just kind of, the top of my belly button kind of pushes down when I'm standing. When I lay down, it does kind of pop out a little bit. And I do have a couple stretch marks, just you can see right down here, and they're actually right along my scar from when I had my appendix out. So I guess that makes sense because the scar tissue doesn't stretch. So that's where it's going to, you know, cause some I guess stretch marks, but it's okay. So far I kind of don't look pregnant in the back. So I guess that's kind of good still. You know, people thought I was pregnant with a boy because I guess with girls you tend to go wide and boys you tend to go out. I don't know. But yeah, so far she's just kind of going out. But do whatever you need to do, baby girl. I need you to grow for me, so it's fine by me if I get some stretch marks from you. And I am using the coconut oil to help reduce those, but But, you know, whatever needs to be done is fine with me because I want you to get here safely. So, all right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.